Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for staying tuned to another video. So today's video is based on a lot of requests that I have been getting. So I've decided to actually fulfill some of those requests. And in today's video, I will be showing you guys how to write a Canadian style resume. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Let me just begin by saying, if you're watching my video for the first time, guys, please consider subscribing. I really do videos that is tailored for persons who are coming to Canada as a new immigrant, as a new person. So please, if you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much, and I really hope that you find this video enlightening. Now get into it. Let me begin by saying that a Canadian style resume, guys, is just like any other resume. There is nothing really different about it, right? But the difference is the format in which you write it. That's the difference. Now, in Canada, there are two main formats that is observed, and it's the chronological format and also the functional format. And I'll get into telling you the difference about these two formats and how you can use these type of resumes when you get to Canada. Now, let's get into it. The chronological format, guys, is where you list your work experience based on your job titles that you have done in the past. So you list it in a chronological order, being your first, you list your last experience first, and then it goes down in that order. So you pretty much say, for example, you were a sales director. You list your sales director and then probably put some of the functions, then you put the date and time that you were employed. That's the chronological order. Now, the functional format is for persons who don't have like a lot of experience, but they have a lot of skills. So under the work experience section, then what you do, instead of listing the type of jobs that you did in the past, you'd list your skills, right? You'd list your area of expertise, what you're good at. That's what you'll put in a functional resume format, right? So let me just show you quickly what I'm talking about. So this is an example, guys, of a chronological format. As you can see, the date of employment is listed right here. You can see that this person did this job throughout that time and for this company. And that is how many persons choose to write their resume. So this is now is an example of the functional format. As you can see, there's no real experience listed here, but instead what you see, you'll see a list of this person's skills and what they are good at. So this now can boost your employability, because persons will now look at your skills, and if it's directly in line with the job that you're applying for, then that's definitely a bonus for you guys, right? So that's the main difference between the chronological and the functional format, guys. Now, there are certain things that has to be included on your resume, regardless of the format that you decide to use, right? And the first thing is you have to list your contact information. You have to list your career summary. You have to list your skills. You have to list your work experience, and you also have to list your educational background. So these are standard, and the difference between the chronological format and the functional format is really just underneath the work experience section of your resume. Everything else remains the same. There are a lot of persons who has volunteer experience, and that might be directly linked to the job that you're applying for. You put that at the bottom of your work experience section. So underneath your work experience section, you'll put a little tab and say volunteer, and then you put your skills and experience that you have gotten from your volunteer activities, right? Bearing in mind, guys, that it has to be it's preferably linked to the job that you're applying for. So that's how you will format your Canadian style resume in terms of a format. Now, guys, I'm going to give you some tips. And number one tip, guys, keep your resume between 1 to 2 pages. Your resume is not an essay. It's not an exam that you write 1,000 words. Keep your resume as concise as possible. If it is that you're a student and you don't have much experience, keep your resume to 1 page. 1 page only. If it is that you have over 10 years experience or probably over 15 years experience, then ideally your resume should be 2 pages, but it sometimes go over to 3 pages, which is also fine. But it also depends on the amount of experience that you have gotten throughout that tenure of time, right? Tip number 2, guys, please leave out your personal hobbies off your resume. Oh, I like to play football, and I like to listen to music in my spare time, and I like to read. No employer cares, right? Leave that off your resume. No. If it is that you have a special interest, or a special hobby that is directly in line with the job that you're applying for, then you can include it underneath special interest. For example, you are applying to become a writer, right? And then you have your own personal blog that you write. You can say, okay, then in my spare time I do blogging and I write for this website, and then you can attach a link so that your employer can see that you're actually experiencing this area. So unless it's directly in line, guys, please leave it off. Tip number 3, guys, please do not put an heading on your resume saying resume or CV. They already know that it's a resume, guys. You don't need to put that on there because it's gonna make the employer feel as if you really don't know how to write a resume, and plus it's not necessary. You do not need to put resume as a big heading or CV. They already know it's a resume. Tip number 4, guys, start all work experience with an action verb, right? For example, increase profitability of my previous employer. They like to see that. They like to see action words. Constantly strategize in ways of improving customer service. Start each sentence with an action verb. Show that you are directly involved, right? So employers generally like to see that. Which brings me to tip number 5. Quantify your contributions to your last employer. If it is that you are employed to increase customer satisfaction, right? Say stuff like, increased customer satisfaction from 50% to 80%. Increased profitability of my previous company where I worked as an accounting clerk from 65% to 85% when I decided to end my tenure. Quantify your contribution. Quantify your contribution, right? Tip number 6, guys, please use the same font throughout your resume. Do not use font that is difficult to read. Do not use any font that is complicated. Please use a basic font and try and create a resume for it to be attractive. So you'll use different fonts throughout. Like for your headings, you'll use a bigger font, and for your titles and stuff like that, you'll work it out. You know what I mean. And in addition to that tip, guys, please do not use any odd colors on your resume. Keep your resume to black and white as much as possible. Do not use orange, do not use green and purple and all of these lovely colors. They look nice on paper, I know, but please keep your resume as basic as possible. Tip number 7, guys, please keep your resume directly in line to the job that you're applying for. Many persons use one generic resume and apply for every job, and then we find out that, okay, then we don't get much callbacks and we don't get much opportunity. It's because, guys, your resume is not tailored for the job that you're applying for. Keep your resume in line with the job that you're applying for, and you don't have to tweak everything. You can keep your basic outline, and then your experience and your skills, you'll tweak that just a little to make it relevant to your job that you're applying for. And the reason for this, guys, many companies in Canada use an hiring software to sift through resumes, right? So you want to use keywords that is directly in line with the job that you're applying for, so that you can pass that software, so that you can go to an hiring manager and then they can look over your resume. If there's no keywords in your resume that is directly in line with the job that you're applying for, then chances are, guys, you are not gonna pass the keyword search software, and then you're probably not gonna end up getting employed. Now, we don't want that, right? We want you guys to get employed, and of course, these are the tips that I'm giving you guys. So there you have it, guys. So those are my tips as it relates to writing a Canadian resume. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and please leave a comment, right? I appreciate you guys, and I'm sure you guys appreciate me. Thank you so much. Until the next video, thank you very much.